Well, as I said, we are right back. We are going to kick things right off with our Overwatch finals. And of course, I've got our beloved Overwatch casters here, John Allen and Blank.
We're beloved.
Yeah, I think beloved, definitely. So let's, oh God, let's start things off by, yeah, it was a circle. Have you ever seen a heart?
No, yeah, never seen one before.
All right, let's start things off. We're going to talk brackets. So we're going to have a little look back at how these teams made it here today, because I think it's fair to say the playoffs were pretty intense. So why don't you talk us through them?
So obviously the Spartans are going to be on the bottom side of the bracket, beating out both the Invincibles and the Pirates. Pirates, a previously strong team as well, so it was notable that they were able to get that. They're on a very good run at the moment, but one of the only teams that they've lost a map to is the Saints, who come on that top side, obviously beating out the Hunters and the Steelers. So it's going to be interesting because they came from the same group as well.
I think we never expected the Steelers to be beaten, actually. I expected a Steelers versus Spartans final, and then the Saints come out of nowhere. And I've been chatting with them today, and they have been putting the practice in, right? And they 3-0 the Steelers, which we did not see coming, and now they're here today at the Stratford Arena facing off versus the Spartans. It's incredible. I love it.
Maybe we're looking for another upset, because I know the Spartans are coming in kind of slight favourites, I would say. I think it's fair to say. They've had a pretty impressive season. Perhaps, if not favourites so much as the Saints were not necessarily expected to be in the final, and then here they are, surprise, surprise, blew everybody away. So possibly we're going to have another very exciting upset. But let's talk about the rosters that they're going to be fielding today. Who should we be looking out for? What kind of strats can we expect to see from these players?
I think the name on everyone's lips is going to be Katonka Toys. Katanks, very, very strong DPS player for the Spartans. Really, really notable for Doomfist play. Obviously, Doomfist being very strong in the current meta has been at the forefront, but there's a lot of players that are going to be in the mix here. I mean, for the Saints, they have got Curio, who one of my MVPs from the duration of the tournament. Really strong support player, and they have some decent shot calls as well.
Yeah, and I think the Magic Marv definitely want to keep an eye on the Saints as well. I think there are a lot of really good players on the Spartans, but Magic Marv plays this D.Va, right? He plays it really, really well, and he's probably the only D.Va I've actually seen successfully eat Gravitons, like, consistently. And I think there were a lot of win conditions for them during those games versus the Steelers, where it did come down to Magic Marv just making those plays, eating those Gravitons, and just playing a phenomenal D.Va overall.
I have to say, as a D.Va main myself, I'm pretty excited to watch that. I'm going to be picking up tips as far as possible. But I'm going to give you first a little bit of a reminder of where we are, because today we are coming to you live from our Stratford Arena. Now, this is our flagship arena. When I tell you it is awesome, believe me, it is pretty incredible. So here's a tour around our brand new flagship space.
I've been to quite a few of these arenas, and this one is just massive. It's huge. You can finish playing, and then I can take my team and go and sit down, and we can have a drink and a laugh and a chat. It becomes much more of a social thing as well as being a gaming experience. Like, everyone I've spoken to is quite amazed by it.
I think the decor is great. I think the designers have done a fantastic job. It suits gaming absolutely perfectly. The neon lights are great.
It's really kind of high-end. It's got a really nice calming atmosphere to it as well. Like, it all just feels very, very friendly and very open.
It's really fantastic just to be able to see some friends here and watch everything come together, because every single belong is like a bit of a family. And so watching the family here at Stratford evolve is fantastic.
Well, it is time for our second final of the day. I don't know if you've recovered quite yet from the first one. I definitely haven't, but this one is set to be just as exciting. So make sure you sat down somewhere. I wouldn't want you falling over with excitement. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to your Overwatch casters.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, welcome to the Overwatch Arena Clash Grand Finals here at the Stratford Arena. My name is John Allen, as you would have just saw if you were watching the stream or paying any attention to the previous season. You may or may not have done.
If you wanted to,
yeah. But if you've been doing that as well, you will know who I'm sat with. It is Blank, of course, one of our favourite colour casters in the UK.
Wow, that's a real nice compliment.
There you go. Well,
just in the UK.
There's your one.
Though.
There's your one. Enough for that.
Single compliment of the day. That's fine. I'll take it.
But we're going to be looking at the Spartans versus the Saints. We're going to be getting hopefully underway pretty soon with these guys because, as you were saying before, the Saints, they have had a lot of practice time being chucked into the mix in the previous weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, they are really hungry for it. And no doubt either, right? They've made their way through all the groups. They've battled their demons. They battled the Steelers. They made it through. They played versus the Hunters as well. This is a really strong team. And they beat them out. And a lot of their games have been 3-0s. And they are the only team to take a map off of Spartans themselves. So you got to watch out for these guys because they are definitely in it to win it. And to be honest with you, George, the beginning of the season, both of us, I think, were like, Spartans, they're going to take it. And now Saints got dropped into the mix, who have just been consistently proving during this entire season. And now they're here today, and they are here to win.
Certainly. I mean, they crossed the 7. They made it all the way to London. And,
it was a 3.5-hour journey, I was told.
Oh, it's pretty long, but it's going to be worth it because they're going to be hopefully in it to win it today. Of course, first place prize.
We got them on the screen now, actually.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Take a look at these strong old Overwatch players there.
Oh yeah.
But in it to win it today, obviously up for grabs, £200 worth of game credit rewards. As well as £100 worth of peripherals, or Overwatch. You could buy Battle.net points. Battle.net points.
Yeah, that's true.
You can buy some loot boxes or something like that. Obviously second place will take away £100 of game credit and £50 of peripherals as well. So not all is lost. Everyone is in the money, so so to speak.
Yep.
But obviously they do want to double up on those prize pools and get it done because of course. It's going to be pretty sweet to be able to walk away with that. You're going to be able to, flex on some people, buy some
credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
With your game
I
credit.
think it flexes as well as for you.
So. Oh yeah. You like a little
so
bendable.
you flex on them with your flexi game credit. So it's nice and easy.
Absolutely. It might just be digital. I'm not sure. I'll have to
also could be a code.
Verify.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'm sure.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do we know the map pool?
We don't know the map pool, but I assume that it would be the same, right?
I think so. Yeah.
We weren't informed of the map pool today, but I mean, it has quite consistently had the Dorado in there. You've got the standard control maps coming up first, and we have seen a little bit of Rialto here as well. So it's good for the Arena Clash in particular because this is kind of like the stepping stone, right, onto more esports, right? This is the base. And you have the Overwatch Path to Pro, your Open Division, you've got contenders, and you go into Overwatch League, and it's all a nice system as you go down. I think the Arena Clash sits really nicely between all of this because I have seen a lot of these teams now go in to play Open Division, place rather highly, and I think this does give like a nice little ground where you can battle it outright and prove yourself and prove almost to yourself as well as that we can do it. We are a great team.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with that. And I was doing
there was one guy as well, wasn't there, John?
Was
there was
one guy. No way.
There was one guy. Yeah, no, there's what is his name? D5, one of the players from the Challenger team. We were informed that he's climbed 1,000 SR this season alone.
That's a lot of SR.
Down from 2.9k to 4k. So if anyone tells you can't do it in a month, well, you're very wrong.
Why haven't I?
Very, very wrong. Well,
why haven't?
Because you don't flex. And you tilt in a big way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. You try to play Doomfist far too often as well as.
60% win rate.
60% win rate.
60.25, I think. I can't remember. I looked it up today.
Specifics don't matter. You just don't win enough games.
115 games.
Wow! Oh my God! You really.
I know, and I'm still in plat. Goodness me. So it feels bad, man.
It's a real feels bad.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. But no, I was talking earlier. I think to some video content around the event about how it's actually relatively rare for players to be able to showcase themselves outside of things like Open Division, outside of things like contenders, and obviously the World Cup and things like that. So having the opportunity to be on this broadcasted side of things at a grassroots level is something that you can't ignore. There are a couple of organisations starting to sort of cotton onto this sort of stuff, and apparently the Overwatch Arena Clash is doing great work with that because, as you were saying, couple of these players, they're starting to form this community that can develop this talent.
Yeah, and you say that, and I'm thinking about it a bit more now. And like, obviously, Contenders, that's a great place where you do see a lot of broadcast talent, and you will actually see some teams where they will be in the bottom 8, and they might have bought into Contenders, or they make a place in there, and it's a mishmash of players, right? And it's put together at the last minute, but they will play their hearts out, and a lot of times it's just individual talent they're looking for, as opposed to like a more team that's coalesced together, right? And Open Division, sure, there's a lot of actual broadcasts out there that are actually trying to give it some more light, but it's not quite enough at the moment. But like you say, UK Arena Clash is great for it. It does showcase talent, and Open Division teams can look at this and be like, right, we want this player on the team, and they'll get pulled in. I think that's an amazing.
Well, that's kind of the whole idea of the pot, to get on the ladder, get climbing. Too. It's a little bit easier because the other routes, of course, being like get good at you and then have 4-point ASR and have fun. That you're never going to beat out Funny Astro, are you? I mean, no. six account Lucio 1 trick. How are you going to beat that?
Yeah, it's insane. I think Funny Astro had a couple of incidents recently. I'm not sure. Hopefully he does get onto a team in the Overwatch League, because he is a great player after all.
Very strong, yeah.
But yeah, we've had some real good British boys actually making their way up to Overwatch League recently. You got Fusions. Kib recently went over to the, I believe it was Guangzhou Charge. Or
I can't remember.
I think it was either Guangzhou Charge or Chengdu Hunters. I could be wrong. But he's made his way up there now, which is incredible to see.
And of course you've got Boombox as well.
Boombox, Philly on the Philly team. Yeah. He came actually from university tournament as well.
Yeah, he came from the UK university scene, elevated himself all the way up, played for, I think it was in Birmingham University.
Yeah.
Played for them.
That's crazy, right?
Just got picked up.
I don't
know. Oh, he went, to be fair, he went to the UK Overwatch team for the World Cup, the first World Cup, and then got picked up.
But that's the thing, that is what the World Cup a lot of times at the end of the day is for teams. It is,
and that's an example of it's an example of allowing players to flex themselves on streams and on in front of an audience and give them that exposure. So I think that's kind of the other side of this tournament is allowing those players to develop as personalities and players within their own right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's good here because there is a lot of recognition to the players. We get to interview them now and again. We get to speak to them a lot as well. So we really do delve deep and find out as much as we can about these players. And in my opinion, that's great. That's great for us as casters. It's great for the community because they get to find out about people like Kotanks, who is just this Doomfist one-trick pain, but also has a lot of other things in his pocket, right?
Yeah.
And I think we'll see a lot of that today. On this LAN final, right, on the big stage, right, playing for the win. And I think it's pretty cool this as well, because there's almost a little bit of tension now, because everyone else you play in your arena, you play together, and it's quite friendly. Now you have two teams going against each other in a LAN environment. However, UK Arena Clash kind of curbs that really, because you are all playing together anyway at an arena.
Yeah.
So when you come to play at an offline event, right, you might actually be more prepared for it than you
might think.
Otherwise think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of invaluable to have that sort of experience, and that's something that these players, I'm sure, will come to realise is a very strong bow. I've never got the phrase "string to the bow" because
string
you only
to the
need
bow.
you add another string to your bow, and it's like you only need one string.
What are you doing? Adding 2 arrows.
But to have another.
What are you playing at?
How many strings do you need
It's
on
just
it?
even harder to pull back the bow now.
Exactly. Well, not even that. It's why you got multiple strings. Why not just have a stronger string?
That's a harp now. You've got yourself a harp.
Oh, or a lyre.
Or a lyre, yeah. You've made a musical instrument.
Yeah.
You've made a mistake, my friend. Yeah.
Stop stringing that bow. It's got enough. It's had enough of your strings.
You're making music now. Yeah, no. He's goes into battle. That'll scare him.
It's like Fluffy from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Play a bit of music or fall straight to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually watched that. I watched a bit of Hazapee recently.
Yeah?
He's a good lad. Yeah. Okay. I watched the first one, Sorcerer's Stone. It's not quite.
Do you mean the Philosopher's Stone?
The Philosopher's Stone. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that is unacceptable.
That is copyright right there.
No, it's unacceptable to call it Sorcerer's Stone. It's not that.
I'm sorry. That's the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah,
you're right.
The proper UK version.
No, the proper version. The correct version.
The correct one.
The right one.
There is no other way to say has a P. It is always the Philosopher's Stone.
Absolutely.
So yeah, well, it didn't age great. But anyway, but more about the teams, right? So because we are going more into map now, so we do have a little bit more to go on. So I think we are heading over to Oasis first. Bear in mind that could change at any moment.
Potentially. Of course, it will start out on control point. From that, it will be loser's choice of the map within the map type. Yeah. So they'll be able to choose from one or the other maps.
Winner
as we
will
go
pick
through.
side as well.
Winner pick side after that, and then we should be ready to go. We've almost got everybody set up in lobby. I think one of the players is just having a little bit of an audio issue at the moment. But the map pools will be Oasis to start us off, then a choice between Gibraltar and Dorado. Followed that Volskaya, Hanamura. If you want to choose between those on the 2CP, King's Row and then Hollywood as well.
Finishing with Ilios if we get
finishing with Ilios if we get that in this best of 5, which will be the format that we're going to be taking on. It's been the same way for the whole of the playoffs, so it should be pretty familiar for everyone. It's been familiar throughout the rest of Overwatch as well.
I think what we've got to look at here is that both these teams coming into this. Just quickly an aside as well, as Ash is banned within this tournament. She's not live yet. She's not live within the contenders scene. They'll be bringing her in, I think it's a week or two from now, so she's definitely not in here as well as. But Oasis to begin with, now this is an interesting map because you have University, you got City Centre, and you also have Gardens. Now, the thing about Oasis is every single map can be played very differently. And now I say that, and both teams will just play goats like every single map, which is that free variant that we're all very, very comfortable and aware of so far. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what goats is? Do you know what free? Goats.
Goats? What, like the animal?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
He's never heard of it. So let's explain it. So we have free. You got free tanks, you got free supports, right?
All right.
Basically, the aim of the game is that there is a lot of intricacy to it, but if we boil it down, it is making sure that your Zarya is your carry here because she does the majority of the damage, so you've got to make sure that she stays alive. And to keep her alive, you have 2 tanks beside her. You got the Reinhardt or a Winston, and you have the D.Va as well as, and then you have triple support, which is generally at the moment Lucio, Brigitte, and Zenyatta, who provide a copious healing to the team to make sure that carry Zarya does not go down early and make sure that Reinhardt can continue to hold up that shield safely.
Although it does slightly fall off when you're talking about the range compositions versus that. Brigitte needs to be in the fray to be able to provide that Inspire healing, which is why it's so strong against other 3-3 compositions. Because you can just sit there swinging your flail, charging up Inspire, healing the whole team. But if you're playing against, a Hanzo, a Pharah, even sometimes a Genji, who's just going to be looking to dive in and get straight out, or a Doomfist on the same vein, it's going to be difficult to deal with that because you don't have the burst healing. What's going on?
They're having a cheeky smile, aren't
they? Okay.
Oh, that's the Chimpy. That is the real Chimpy Overwatch.
The real Chimpy Overwatch?
Yeah, absolutely.
No way.
Yeah,
look at it. That's a fine beard, that is.
It's probably better than mine. I was going to say almost better than mine, but that's most definitely better than my beard. Yeah.
That's right. He looks like Henry. You know who I mean, don't you?
No.
Who's the blacksmith's son?
Oh my god. Slightly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was
so random.
That was
it's
very
a
random.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah. I love that. I love it.
You love it so much.
But what's better is Overwatch. I'll tell you
Overwatch
that.
is
Overwatch is the best game. It is the best game.
Yeah, there's no game like it. It is just 100% fun.
Just the best game.
I was actually speaking to the Saints as well as earlier on, and I think they have come to the conclusion that Kotanks has to go down.
I feel like everybody has come to that conclusion from watching what's been happening, from playing in the Pug Nights as well. Whenever Kotanks is on the field, kill Kotanks. Get him done. Put that sleep dart his way. Yeah. He's solo shattered me before on.
Has he?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. I was on a big old flank as Doomfist, and he just came up behind me as Ryan and just went, haha.
You deserved that 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
That is deserved.
But we are going to be getting underway with our first map. It will be Oasis, the Spartans on their home turf, taking on the Saints. Should be a pretty interesting matchup, as we've been touting consistently throughout all of our spiel that we've had, but they're waiting to set up. Now, first map will be Gardens. What are you expecting to see here?
Now, so there's a lot that can go on here. Usually you will see a Pharah and a Winston Diva composition, which is a bit more of a dive, because there is a lot of locations on the point that you have to contest, and there is a lot of high ground to take control of. I think the main thing that we have to look at as the crowd gets a little bit more excited for the game as we do jump in, which is nice to see. We will be assembling the heroes, and I think one thing to be taken note of earlier on here is that Nyx on this Brigida is really fun to watch. And if you've seen Kib from Overwatch League, or even if you're paying attention to Chinese contenders, doesn't matter if you're not, there are players like Jason on there, and they're very aggressive. And you have this like weird dichotomy of Brigidas that are quite defensive, Brigidas that are very aggressive. An aggressive Brigida that plays well can really change the tide of a fight and almost change how this composition plays, because it will be that 3-3 versus 3-3, though I believe that Saints do have the slight advantage here because they are playing Zenyatta versus the Ana. Ana just provides a lot of healing, but the extra damage that the Discord applies with that 30% extra damage to the tanks could sway this fight, and Django could be having a pretty tough time here to remain on the point.
See if they're able to displace him. Ana from Leonia, but already they're taking the fight right next to the edge. Kotanks over onto the Reinhardt, charges straight through the middle. It's a spare. He's not going to pick up any of the pins and will go down for it. Nyx is going to shut him down as well. Flame strike from Django, already a strong shutout for the Saints. They're going to roll it on through. There's the high damage Zarya you're talking about. They do get it back with a boot, and only 2 for 1 at the moment, but the Saints get first cap.
And there is a 30% deficit already between Barnyard and Chimpy here with the Graviton, which is going to come in big like the next fight, right? Because absolutely Chimpy will find this next grab. Leonia does have the Nana boost though, so that can be applied to Kotanks to make sure that he gets forward much quicker. He gets moved over the side, but that will be McMagic Marv going down.
Instant DMEC comes through. There's the Earth Shatter from Django though, sends them all to the deck. It's going to be Kotanks though to refrag it, getting the opposing Reinhardt down, and already the tank line started to move forwards. It's Saints, it's Chimpy, and there's the boop, but it's countered! Oh, here we go! Lucio's and Brigitta's both booping around.
Oh my god, Curio!
There's the Zenyatta. There's the support line coming on in big, and Curio picks up the double. The Saints are here to fight.
Oh, he's absolutely destroyed him. That was just one after another. Headshot after headshot. This guy is accurate as anything. Barnyard has the Graviton now. I do believe Chimpy's grab did get eaten during that fight, so I say McMagic Marv's the one to look out for, but now it will be Hazabella who's really showing up now. It will be Barnyard coming into this fight with the Graviton, however, so really they want to extend this fight as long as possible. Curio has the Transcendence.
Very early on, but there's the Transcendence counter from Curio. He has plenty of shield, and Kotek's just holding onto the edge of the ledge right there. Able to just hold on, but already Nyx going down, and the rally for the Spartans to move them on forwards. They have 66% already capped for the Saints, but the counter charges out, both sent to the floor. The numbers advantage in the way of the Spartans, but with plenty of capture charge coming through, this is a dangerous situation.
I think this is absolutely fine for the Saints. I think they're pretty happy with that trade, right? They're going to have an Earth Shadow coming off the back of that. Mr. Trix is the only one with this big supportive ultimate, which is the sound barrier. I think the Saints come into this. Yeah, I think they're pretty happy right now. Django, if he can lay down the Earth Shadow, make some big plays here, it will give opportunity for Chimpy to raise himself towards that Graviton. And at 80%, this could be last fight territory here, John.
They do need to get in pretty quick. If the Saints go down early, they might have to just remount. They've got plenty of time, but there's a shatter. Everyone down. Sound barrier to try and keep them safe. He's going to run out. There's the self-destruct, finding one, and the DMEC as well. And off the back of it, Saints roll the point. An easy flip should be coming pretty soon.
That is such an unfortunate and awful mistake by Mr. Trix there. He hopes to boop the Reinhardt out of the way, right? But instead, the charge already connects, which just keeps him in air. That momentum goes over even longer. And slowly but surely, he is pushed into that Diva Bomb with unable to launch the shield up and protect his team from it. That is very, very much unfortunate. They will be coming to this fight with a Graviton. They will make it back in time. Curio again has pumped up towards that Transcendence.
It's going to be starting to move on forwards. They're coming from main, dropping down from the high ground. The Saints looking to go for the contest. There's the shatter. It's cancelled out. He doesn't get it. It's not going to go onto the back line, but not to worry. They've already got the DMEC. There's the Graviton countered out by the Transcendence, but the damage has yet to come through. The Spartans are still contesting on the point with Nyx going down. Reinhardt soon to follow. Zarya starting to come up big. 99% overtime ticking away, but the Spartans have their foot in the door. They're not letting it close just yet. They're turning it around, but Magic Marv gets DMEC'd, and the cap should be coming through. The Spartans, they're giving it their all.
The fuel tank is low for the Spartans, however. This next fight, Saints will be coming into this one with a Graviton as well as they're going to have that combo with Magic Mark, 81% towards that self-destruct. So they'll have that Giganti combo, that self-destruct Graviton, which can just blow teams away if used correctly. This is going to be tough though. Jimpy is low charge as he comes into this fight, whereas you would imagine that Barnyard holds on to a little bit, but there's going to be big plays available. Mr. Trix cannot make any mistakes now with his sound barrier.
Jimpy almost with the Graviton Surge, chucks it down. There's a self-destruct layered down on top. He's not going to be able to pick anything up. Hazabella not getting any returns there. And the Saints pick up 2 quick kills onto the support line. This is a really strong position for them. They don't have Curio, they don't have McMagic Marv, but they've got that core. Zaya Reinhardt still holding on to that point. The contest is still there from the Spartans. They're up to 83, but they are faltering. They don't have many troops to send at the point, and the cap just about started to come out. The contest is there as Wrecking Ball is swapped onto to try and get it done, but Django goes a little bit deep. Shatter only onto Kotanks, but it might just get the job done. Is able to get the Flame Strike as well. There's the sound barrier to keep them safe. Overtime ticks away. The Saints, they draw first blood.
That is incredible. The first map taken away from Spartans by the Saints. This is not what we expected coming into this one. And it is Django laying down the hammer. You shall not pass today. They will take the first map on Gardens. This is surprising. Now I move over to City Center now. There is a bit more opportunity for moving around the map, right? Maneuvering themselves into position. I think that so far Spartans have shown very good rotations when it comes to these types of maps. So they do switch things up in a big way right now. Kotanks goes to the Farah. Hopefully going to get something done that way. Leona has to switch off this NRI. He has to go on to the Lucio, make sure that Barnyard and Hazabella can get into position. But the Saints, they've been looking very strong, and going back to what I was saying before this game, right? Nyx on this Brigida is very aggressive, and it has made a lot of openings for the Saints, which the Spartans have just been very, very unexpected, haven't expected them at all. Ooh.
Question is Kotanks going to be able to farm up those rocket barrages fast enough into these fights? You can see the tank line going to be very easy pickings for him. Might be able to get some people out the sky, but Curio is already on the case. Discord Orb straight onto the Farah, trying to blink those headshots, but the Orb's not quite connecting just yet. Spartans have control of the airspace over the point, and with it, the Saints are going to struggle to move forwards. They're zoned away pretty heavily, but they're starting to move forwards.
It's very smart because they stay off the point for long enough, so Kotanks remains on 30%.
But in they go, and already that's Hazabella just going straight down. Curio gets the second pick with the headshots, and the Saints just roll it.
Oh, the Saints are having such a good day today. They made their way onto the point. I think it was so smart to play around the left side of the map here from the Saints' perspective, is because they avoided a lot of the fire coming through from Kotanks. So Hazabella just goes down. I was not expecting that ridiculous amount of damage coming through. I think Jimpy's pretty high charge, so you get shield bash, Discord applied, you pretty much go down immediately. But yeah, Kotanks have just not been available to find these shots, and they're doing it again. They're hiding in this natural cover, not allowing Kotanks to get any of these free shots off.
They're just going to wait for the contest timer to start to come out. Kotanks not getting any returns for his positioning. Curio able to zone him out away, but Zenyatt's already a little bit low. Nyx in the sidelines, they're looking for the combo, but he's already going to get Leonia down. Double kill comes through for Kotanks, made that a triple, and the D-Mech. He's going to get the work done, but is it enough? The Saints still have 3 players left alive and kicking. There's the res starting to come through. Mercy doesn't go down, and Kotanks is back up. They're still going for the contest.
Curio,
and Saints are there. Transcendence for Curio. They keep it rolling, but Magic Marv is in the mech, able to get back in and keep it rolling for the Saints. They are not going to be down and out, but the Spartans have the numbers advantage. Curio goes down, but Django, he's got the Earth Chatter, but Magic Marv finds the double kill. They turn it around, and off the back of a disastrous start, they just get it done. But Magic Marv, he's going to be stopped the charge as well. Nyx able to counter out Hazabella. The Saints hold on.
Nyx is such an incredible Brigida. The mid bash of the charge there prevents it from taking down. Has Kotanks on this team. Django has just remained alive from some incredible support from his own team. This is very, very good so far. I am happy to see it. But again, Barnyard so far has been very successful with the Gravitons, right, John? He has one coming in this fight. He has to make it good because so far, 0% on the clock. The Spartans are looking shaky.
86% now, last fight territory. Big swaps coming through. Kotanks onto the Doomfist. Known for his play here, but is he going to be able to get the job done now? The flip actually coming through. The Spartans get it to start with. Graviton Surge eaten up, but the self-destruct sequence is layered on top. Jimpy on the McCree, looking for the Deadeye, takes down Padshak, turns around. Kotanks is dealt with as well. They see them off the point. The Spartans still have control, but for how long? They're getting zoned away. They're getting pushed off the point, pushed back to spawn, and with the final blow, blow being dealt. It's going to be just the Lucio to try and continue this contest. They're building up this percentage, but he's going to be staggered down. The Saints get the flip. Are they going to be able to go for the touch? Only 93% there. 6% to touch. Kotenk's on the flank, looking for the touch. Wiz going to be able to get it, but he's going to go down. His teammates are falling really, really quickly. Chimpy's going to stop it down. Overtime ticking away. The Saints put the nail in the coffin with the Earth Shatter. First map goes their way.
The Saints, they come out strong on Oasis here. I did not expect this. I thought it would be a lot closer, but the Saints look like they have been putting in the work outside, and 100% this goes over the Knicks. His Brigitte has been phenomenal.
Consistently as well. Curio backing him up beautifully with those discords onto the Reinhardt. Hazabella couldn't put a toe forwards. He was getting shut down at every turn. So difficult to make it work. And quite frankly, they did very, very well. However, what we have to mention is that the map that was taken off the Spartans before was a control point. It was Nepal.
Yes, yeah. So this is like harkening back, right? So we go into the next map now, which is Gibraltar or Dorado, and things have to change if they want to make sure they can take this map. So hopefully they have been practicing these map types. Hopefully they have a plan towards this. But one thing we have to highlight is Chimpy, the immediate switch over to the McCree, John.
Yep. Very, very quick, very efficient as well. Able to even get a Deadeye into the last fight, taking down.
You saw Kotenk's go on the Doomfist, and it was immediate.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked to them beforehand as well. They knew that if that Doomfist was there, they were like, right, McCree, by the way, flashbang, and you're useless.
Yeah, and that's just added more to the mix, right? Because if you get too close, and something that impressed me consistently was the fact that if it wasn't Nyx protecting Curio, then you always had Lucio there in the wings to make sure that Curio could get out the way, make sure he was speeding safely towards his team. And it's a really good handoff of roles, as Nyx must be shouting this, that I'm going to go forward now, I'm going to create some plays and make some space for you. You have to make sure that Curio is still alive, because when Curio has the armor, he's a fragging monster. The guy throws out these orbs like no tomorrow, and people definitely go down, and he is a constant threat. Whereas we have seen before that some Zenyatas, they are just transcendent spots. Now we're seeing Curio, he's finding the kills, he's putting the pressure down. Kotenk's thought he was pretty safe. There's no Ana on the Saints team, which is usually what you play there. You take down the Mercy first, and then you pressure the Pharah second. He said, okay, the Zenyatta's still there. Curio goes, wait a minute, I'm a hit scan.
Basically. I mean, you are projectile technically on Zenyatta, but we'll let it slide. You're basically hit scan. You know, why not? Yeah. Especially with those discords, the headshots really, really hurt. They hurt a lot. Yeah. We are going to be going over to Dorado next. That's the map that the Spartans opted to go for. And there is a sub going through. Hazabella will step down. Ice Phoenix will be back into the mix. So let's see if they're going to be able to take it a little bit better on Dorado.
You know, this is something we have to talk about, because we have seen Chimpy's Widow, right, previously in this season. Yeah. It's inconsistent, to say the least. I don't know how much practice he's been putting into it, because I'm not sure if he expected Dorado on the final map pool, but it's something that they've had to look into. Here we are seeing instead that they will just be playing another 3-3 variant. They're going to be going over... I take it back. They've got Chimpy on the...
It's very early doors on what they're going to be able to pick.
It is very early doors, right?
There we go. Over onto Dorado. Map number 2. Already a 1-map advantage to the Saints. Good way to start off the best of 5 final, especially on away turf as well. This is the Spartans' home ground. It'd be quite momentous to be able to take them down here.
Yeah, you probably get some stairs as well, right? Coming out of the arena. Yeah, you probably try and get out as fast as possible. You do the interview.
Oh, it's all in good fun. No, it's all in good fun. I'm sure we'll have we'll go and get some fizzy pop after the show.
Fizzy pop and a cheeky Nando's.
Yeah, why not? Let's get it done.
Let's get it.
And everyone will be friends again, because at the end of the day, we all love Overwatch. That's why we're all here, and we're here to see 2 of the titans of the Overwatch Arena clash take each other on.
Now this is a
battleground of Dorado.
Yeah, this is a classic map. This is pretty much why Brandizo kind of popularized Doomfist, right? Because there are these rooftops that you can slide over, get these massive rollouts. So I think that Saints here, they're kind of predicting the Doomfist, and they predict correctly as Kotenk's make the switch over. Pajak is on the Sombra here, so we'll be able to shut down Ayak, Gink, and Magic Marvel a lot more. Discord Orb almost immediately applying for Kotenk. This guy's got to be a little bit scared.
And that's such a good way of dissuading Doom from are going in, because he just takes so much damage that you can't sustain even with those shields. It's really difficult to do. Padshak on the Sombra as well, but Kotanks is first to fall. Beautiful counters coming out. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a swap potentially coming through, but they do trade it back. Main tank going down. The Spartans do have a little bit of ground to go. Again, Curio hitting those headshot, but Padshak able to just translocate, negate the damage, pop that translocator back down, and straight back into the fight. Backs up the Lucio, and they're on the back, and immediately he's back to safety. This is a lot of ground gained by the Spartans.
Yeah, it's some really great hacks. There's a hack onto Django on the Winston, means he's prevented the leap, then onto the Lucio, which makes him completely useless.
Puts Bubble onto Leonia on this main, off of the support role. Going to be flexing it about. They're going to have to try and restage though, as 2 players of the Spartans already going down. High charge Barnyard, really wants to keep that one alive. Really going to be difficult to remount and rid of just give it away. Chimpy able to claim that one and dismount the high damage Zarya.
And one thing we got to look at, right, is Padshak's 85% towards this EMP, and I know he went down, but Curio already had the Transcendence before he even died, and it really is a competition, almost like a race, which versus the EMP and the Transcendence, which is why you do see Curio playing in these side rooms. He does not want to get caught out by this EMP. It will shed all of his armor, all of that shield.
Oh, the hack just about going through onto Chimpy, so no Deadeye, no flashbangs coming through. Transcendence is already out pretty early on. There's the EMP to stop anyone going through. There's the Rock Punch as well. A beautiful high noon starting to come through, but the Earth Shatter's out. It is there. There is the Meteor Strike as well. Death rains from above as the Spartans able to take it down. Curio not going down without a fight. Django pops the Primal Rage into the side room, but all of this time the Spartans are moving the payload forwards. Leonia able to close it down, but Magic Marv is going to fall. Just wasting the time at the moment for the Saints on the point. Is going to go down. Final hammer swing from Leonia.
That's some really good control on the Winston Primal Rage, actually. I'm fairly impressed by that. But this is just like, this is our base UK scene, and seeing stuff like that is, woo! There's some strong players in the UK. I'm liking that a lot. Now, Padshak coming to this one has built up towards this next EMP. Curio taking the brunt of it. Armor Pack comes through, does keep him alive for a little bit longer. However, Curio, really good reactions on that last EMP. Did get the Transcendence out before, but it was that nano boost onto the Reinhardt that ultimately did end that fight there. So they've got to be careful at the moment, which is why they move over to the high ground, making sure that this Reinhardt, who cannot work his way up to the high ground, doesn't have as much control on him anymore.
Doomfist just playing do-si-do at the moment. Curio again, under the cosh from Padshak. Almost up to another EMP, but Discord Orb. You can't do anything against that. When you're in the open as Doomfist, there's no way that you're going to be able to get away. There's the EMP being popped on out. Try to get everyone done, but there's the sound barrier to cancel it out. And the D-Mac comes through. Barnyard goes down. Leonia. Was that a shield bash from the back?
Yep. You ain't going anywhere, son. Come back here.
Meteor Strike up into the air. Kotanks not quite done just yet.
Nice
able to take down Nyx. And because of the spawn advantage here, the Spartans might be able to remount relatively quickly. They're going to have all 6 players up and alive. Django actually getting sprayed down a little bit by Padshak. They have got the nano, they have got the shatter, and they've got that sound barrier.
With Magic Marv here, you will also have this this self-destruct, but Nano Boost invested very early, and the Saints are quite happy just to stay indoors and wait while they push it around. There's only one person on the payload. Now they will mount the defense.
Break the bubble and the Shatter's free. Are they going to be able to do it in time? The Deadeye finds nothing into the fight. There's the Shatter coming through, but the Transcendence was out already. There's the Rally being popped as well. The Saints not losing anyone just yet. Out of the skies, he's going to go down to the Lucio. Barnyard now with the Discord, and there's Nyx to just swing the flail. They're going to send them back to spawn yet again. Second point not capped for the Spartans.
2 minutes 20 remaining as well, John. If they get it in the next like 10 seconds, they still will only have 3.5 minutes come point C, which is a very difficult point to take. The Streets phase should have gone across quite quickly, but I think that the Saints are making good use of this high ground, which is why you will see that Leonia switches over the Winston here, because he has to contest it, otherwise they're going to lose out every time, because the Saints' positioning is just great at the moment.
Just look at these D.Va ults, though. Not too many defensive ults on the backside, so very carefully your positioning here. It's all going to come down to how they're going to use that for this next fight. Are they going to opt to save it? Are they going to opt to go on in? There's the Winston barrier already in. They can break that down. There's the self-destruct over the top. Only going to find one, but it's Ayat Gink. No speed boost, no mobility for them. With Django going down to no bubble, that's a really good start to the fight. The Saints going to try and block out Chimpy, and Kotex is just going to deal with him. Magic Marv D-Mech on the payload, trying to hide around, trying to waste the time, trying to be secret agent Cody Banks. Apparently it's working.
It's working.
All right, here we go. Curio still on the sidelines as well. Able to take down Padshak.
Monstrous.
What a nice pickup, but it's only going to last so long. The Spartans are still here, but the contest is still coming out. They've somehow managed to hold on, but the tether is broken.
Now we're down to 2 minutes 41, which is a really good time back for the Saints. They're going to be happy with that. Nick's taking the brunt of some damage right now, and there's no healing from Sue. Eventually we'll go down. That's a heavy stagger, but Magic Marv, you're next on the list, son. I'm sorry, but you have to go down as well as, and they will just leave him. That's a long stagger. There is nowhere to throw yourself off the side of this map either, so either he gives up ultimate charge or just goes for this. What are you doing with the water, son?
It's a sports bottle and it just spurted up into the air.
It did, yeah.
Sorry about that. It's fine, it's not on the electrics.
Yeah, someone else who wants to jump up in the air here is Leona and Padshak as they drop in. EMP's going to be engaged now.
On top, and it right onto the Reinhardt as well. No shields coming through. There's Chimpy being zoned away, and straight away the seismic slam there. Rehacks the Diva. No mobility from Magic Marv. That is just one big ball of ult charge for the Spartans right now. And again, the stagger starts to come through. There's still a contest coming out. Nyx pops the rally to try and stay alive, but they're just being sent back. No one's going to be able to get that armor. Curio zoned away. There's a Chimp in the back line as well. Katank's dealing with Ayak Ging.
That is cheeky.
That is really cheeky. Going to stop anyone moving forward. Huge double kill coming out for Barnyard. Super sneaky, super effective. The Spartans starting to move forwards. There's the sound barrier for them as well as the Spartans continue to move forwards, but it's the counter sound barrier for the Saints. They're going to start their stall out, but with 1 minute and 20 left on the clock, there's plenty of time. They have plenty of momentum. Do they have the chops to be able to pull it off? Chimpy actually getting countered out. He gets, well, there we go, but he steps off the payload. Spartans push it all the way.
Kotank's actually trying to predict where he would recall. He is really terrifying, to say the least. Kotank's is terrifying. Curio and Nyx also playing very, very well so far. I think there have been some incredible moments from the tank line from Saints, but the Spartans, they bring it back. And I think it all does come down to how Padshak towards the end of Dorado there, his EMP usage and value just started to skyrocket. The guy's getting like a lot of value out of these. He made sure he could, so on point C, if you look over the right there is actually a small window looking onto the end of point C, and he used that perfectly to understand where they all were. I think he got about a five-man EMP. It's very, very good. I think the moment you do see Ayak Gink a lot of times trying to get the sound barrier out, making sure he's hidden, and do think that Saints are doing a good job here to read the ultimates that the Spartans are having online. It's just Kotanks and Padshak. This combination is very hard to deal with.
It's incredibly potent, and what we saw there was excellent stagger play coming out from the Spartans. Every time they tried to leave spawn, Kotanks was there with a rocket punch. There was the uppercut, and of course you have to mention Barnyard there.
Yeah.
The really, really smart Diva bomb.
Yeah, letting it slide down.
Self-destruct sequence. That's what they're all about. Getting them in those sneaky spots, making the enemy team unaware of where it's coming from, because you can't hide from something where you don't know where it is. Of course, you've got the big old exclamation mark on your screen, but when it's somewhere around a corner, you haven't found it. It's up in the air, and then all of a sudden it just plops down in front of you, and you're like, I have made some big mistakes.
And this is what we see from Spartans all the time. They do really unexpected stuff. We saw in the semi-finals, Kotanks, his entire team goes down, and he makes the 1v4.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see. I think Spartans do have a lot of opportunity for this outplay, but Saints just seem to me at the moment a little bit more of the solid team.
Padshak in the sidelines looking for those hacks as well. Going to be crucial, but Kotanks is first to go in. The bubble layered down on top. Curio displaced, and it's now up to Padshak to try and make the most of the shooting gallery. Chimpy not able to deal with it. Already a kill onto Django as well. A brilliant start to the hold. The bubble onto the Reinhardt gives him the respite he needs to get healed up, and they roll it on forwards again, but Magic Marv goes pretty low, back to spawn. But Barnyard, 90 charge on the Zion.
And no wonder, right? He sends the projector barrier straight onto Kotanks as he tries to go in. And this way, they immediately all just try and focus Kotanks down, so it's a guaranteed 40 charge anytime he does it. And I think that the Spartans, they understand this, and it's exactly what's going to happen again as you see him in the sidelines up there. Will look like Chimpy has spotted him out. Ayak Ging goes down to lay down some damage.
They're trying to zone him away. Might have done its job just for now, but he is going to get healed up. The charge from the back line. Leone has the projector barrier, but he's flashbanged. Right click, found the hammer. Let's go. As Kotanks just sails on in and says, no you. Curio goes down, Chippy to follow. There's the hack coming through. Graviton Surge laid down. A clean wipe. The Spartans, they are not out of it. This is what we were talking about. It's just a blip in the road, apparently. The first map, you know, they can have that one.
That is really cheeky. The character model just doesn't peek over the top. Oh my god, full use of the Evo.
On the wall here as well, you can get a 125 seismic slam if he's able to time it right without the hack going through as well. Ultimate Magic Marv, that's a lot of EMP charge. Kotank still yet to go for it, but there's the hack. There's the uppercut in the back lines as well. Already being sent down. Actually, Patchak goes down into the fray, but the Shatter's going to be laid out by Leonia. Should be able to send everyone to the ground. Django up in the sky, trying to get away with the charge, but the Flame Strike a little bit quicker. And the Spartans yet again hold.
I think the Protect the McCree comp works very well in Control, but then you move it over onto a map like Dorado where you have to push the payload. A lot of times the Saints, they have to stay on, they have to push it, and Spartans understand exactly where they're coming from. I think the rotations from the Saints from Control were good because they weren't limited by a payload. Here they are, and they probably would have much more success running Zarya, in my opinion, on this map versus the Spartans and just making good calls, good projected barriers.
Rally coming down, Leonia straight into the fray. Nice charge, isolating the Magic Bomb into the side room, but in comes the Brigitte, in comes the Diva. Self-destruct sequence is going to be lobbed out. The Shatter
doesn't hit anyone!
Everybody, and Django's going to capitalize, but the Seismic Slam is there. It's going to be coming through. Sorry, the Meteor Strike. There's the Deadeye coming through for the back lines, and it's starting to go in the Saints' favor, but into the back lines as Kotank shut down by Chimpy. Django now on the charge with Nyx as well. Patchak trying to contest, but they're swept off the point.
Yeah, I think if Patchak could have contested for a little bit longer here, it might give opportunity for Barnyard to get back, but their spawn timer is so long, there's no way that happens right now. But Magic Marv in this next fight has to make a big play because Barnyard with the EMP, with the Graviton has been very, very effective. There will be an EMP in this fight as well, as it's very easy to get up. And again, Kotank's at the moment, I feel like this combination where Ice Phoenix drops the nano onto him after he goes in and gets low.
Graviton.
The healing is so good.
Okay, alright. Barnyard lobs in the Graviton onto the payload. The heal block comes through. 2 kills already. The Spains are going to have to fall back and remount here. This is just giving Patchak the time he needs to farm up that Graviton. And actually the Doomfist to get back up towards that Meteor Strike as well.
It's kind of an odd place to drop down the Graviton, right? Because the payload hasn't even moved through at the moment. But Magic Marv obviously just wants to go down there because he's in Baby Diva. He wants to get back.
That was a lot of time gained though.
It's a small amount of time gained, to be honest with you. For what you invest 3 ultimates into this fight. 2, sorry, which are your big ones, which is your Nano Boost and your Graviton. Your Nano Boost so far has been really effective because it keeps Kotanks alive in otherwise unsurvivable situations.
I love the hack onto the Diva. It just turns her into such an easy target for that EMP charge. You can see Patchak is just going to have that EMP ready.
I think has to hide.
He can cancel it out though, but he's got the sound barrier. Nicely done. The Saints have that foothold. They need to try and capitalize now as Patchak goes down early. Earthshatter doesn't hit anyone, and there's the Meteor Strike. Only going to find one, however, as the rest of the Saints are going to start to rally on forwards. The projector barrier to try and keep Kotex alive, but it's too little too late. The Spartans are just going to have to retreat. They're going to have to beat it back to spawn. Barnyard needs to get away to safety.
They really want to kill Barnyard. Oh yes, finds the Anna in the back. That's a nice Deadeye. Very, very quick reactions on him.
Barnyard though staying alive. The crucial Zarya pickup, high charge, high energy. The
back
ult
to
as
another
well.
Graviton.
Very, very close here. The Saints, they don't have Curio up to that. That's up to the.
Oh, this could be disastrous.
But Barnyard goes down. That's going to be hugely disastrous. The Saints can have a massive foothold here. Patchak forced to translocate away, and as all of a sudden the Spartans don't have a foothold.
Their win condition was that Graviton as they came on through. Now they no longer have it. They have to invest in Nano Boost onto the Winston.
Primal Rage as well.
The Primal Rage. But Magic Marv is hacked. Won't get the
Very
remake.
low.
Might get it actually.
There's the self-destruct sequence. It's going to come on through. Not going to find anything. There's the Transcendence coming through from Curio just before the Graviton as well. Barnyard can start to move forwards. Maybe into the rest of this fight. Nyx is going to go down. Graviton pins them to the wall. 2 tanks are going to be sent away, but the rest of the team are there. Chimpy is just going to dispatch them. Curio's in the sidelines. Does all the work he needs. And the Saints, they move it forwards.
I mean, Magic Marv has just such a good read on a lot of these situations, right? He sees the Barnyard wants to pin him into the wall, so he's like, is this fine? I'll just go cap the point. No worries to me.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you pin to the wall, as long as the rest of your team's doing the objective
It was such clutch timing on his self-destruct though, right? Like, the hack literally just went away then. Again, Patchak, he has the EMP available and ready. King.
Nice hack.
No sound barrier on the board.
Instant just sprayed. There's the sound barrier coming through, but the Deadeye is out as well, trying to wait patiently. Not going to be able to claim any lives, Mr. Tix. Able to hide Patchak and Kotanks again. This DPS duo, absolutely deadly. But if you sail straight into the core of 4, you are going to go down, my friend. Not the strongest there. EMP is going to get charged out. The protective barrier onto Leonia. And it's going to be the Reinhardt duel. Of course, one Reinhardt's hacked. He's going to do a little bit better with the rest of his team's backup as well. The Spots hold. 1 minute 35 on the clock.
That is high value EMP because Leonia does the brunt of the damage on the enemy team, builds himself up to another Earth Shadow, which could give time to Barnyard to find this next next Graviton, right, which is their big win condition. So far, Saints, their massive win condition at the moment is just the Earth Shatter into a self-destruct combo. A lot of it relies on individual skill, but if the one thing that Saints do have, it absolutely is skill, right?
They've displayed it before. Are they going to be able to bring it here? 1 minute left on the clock. They have used that rally. They have the armor. A nice wraparound though from the Spartans. Maybe try to cancel them out. The hack not quite there. Blocked up. The Earth Shatter is going to find two, however, and it's countered. Barnyard is going to get first draw on to that D-Mech. They haven't got the self-destruct, and he's just a high-charge Zarya zapping everyone down. The microwave is set to high. They're going to be starting to just churn them down, but Leonia is going to fall to Chimpy. The flashback gets the kill. Deadeye into the back lines. Finds two. Massive. Chimpy coming up big for the Saints. They're going to start to roll it out, but there is the Graviton. Kotanks with the double kill. Barnyard able to back him up. Goes down to the mini Diva, but the rest of the team is there. And with 27 seconds, the Saints don't have too much of a window.
Defensive advantage is really strong, come point C on this map. Not a lot of time remaining for the Saints now. But Magic Marv, he will have the Diva Bomb. It was the Diva Bomb that finished it off last time for the Spartans. Let's see if Magic Marv can bring out something big.
Curio has the Transcendence, Padshak has the EMP. It is all about cancelling it out. Kotanks looking for that backline as well. Chimpy needs to be able to cancel it out, but Magic Marv, this is their last push, has the self-destruct sequence, but he's going to get hacked. The Shatter's there, it's huge, but the Transcendence is trying to pin it. Nyx is sent away, and another kill goes over onto Aya King. Meteor strike into the midst of it, but Chimpy gets the first blood yet again. Doesn't have the Deadeye this time. The sound barrier is there. The Spartans starting to tick away onto their overtime. A sneaky little contest coming through. They just have to dispatch with one mini Diva, and in overtime ticks away. The Spartans take it home. Dorado evens the score.
Home turf comes in strong here on Dorado. I do think that this is where Kotanks had to perform right on Dorado, where Doomfist is so very strong. It is a map for him. It's a map made for him. Leonia
this has to be the final shot.
He takes this, absolutely. This is just where everyone gets EMP'd, and he just swings home, and everyone goes down.
Look at that. So much damage is being churned out. Plenty of backup from his team. Really nice play. 2 in 1. 2 for the price of 1.
I think that's 6 kills. I think he actually got everyone on the enemy team.
Did he?
Yeah, what a mentalist.
Oh, well, there you go. Certainly very strong plays coming out from the Spartans. However, they did get pushed towards that third point. So a little bit of ground gained by the Saints. We're now 1-1 in this best of 5 series.
I am so ecstatic right now. It's watching these two players, two teams just head it out against each other. They're really, really doing well versus each other. There's a lot of things going on at the same time. You can hear the Spartans back there. They're shouting. They're having a good time. They take a map off. Poor Curio does not look happy about this.
He's having a think. He's thinking what they can change, what they can do better.
I think it is tough, especially on Dorado, where there is so much opportunity for Doomfist to excel. I don't think that Curio has to feel too bad about this, because his transcendences were on point that entire time. They have been effective. His rotations have been great. He's responded to EMPs very well, as has Aya Gink. I just think that they lacked a significant win condition, and a lot of times it came down to Magic Marv or making that big Earth Shatter coming out from Django. I don't think they found any of that. I think there was a decent counter shatter that they had to expect come point C. They didn't. They let it come through, and they missed 2 vital kills when they were laying down on the ground.
That was what you were talking about as well, the crucial ultimates coming through, and it was the fact that Leonia was able to block up the Earth Shatter coming through from Django in that final fight that was so important. It did hit 2 people, but the counter shatter was there. The crucial part was that the Reinhardt stayed up and kicking.
Yeah.
And the sound barrier was just layered on top of it.
I think that, like, you talk about, so you see Leonia, right? And he's providing so much time for Barnyard to make his way up to these Gravitons. And even when they lose a fight, Leonia always provides such a valuable Earth Shatter that gives more and more time over to Barnyard to grab that Graviton up and have that ready for the next fight. So they're constantly cycling, and although they lost some of the fights on the back of the fact they didn't have a Graviton, next fight they always did. And I think that is what's so difficult for them. We will be moving into Hanamura next. This is a very, very different type of map where Doomfist can be pretty good, especially first point. As you try and make that rotation towards mini room, you can drop down and get a really nice rocket punch off and just completely cripple the team as they try to move in.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots you can play around and make sure you have that control. Kotanks looking like he might opt to go for it, and something I also value, something I'm playing in a couple of my own games as well. Barnyard over onto the Mei. Very strong at holding that first choke. The doorway, you can completely block that off. If you're playing into a fully GOATS comp, unless they all go exactly at the same time, you can split the team up. You can reduce the healing coming out. You can take the Brick Eater out of the fight. So they need to be aware of that. They need to try and counter that danger by being coordinated.
Nyx drops on the Genji for a very short amount of time, just getting that play time on. I mean, the guy, he is a Genji main, right? He's been moved off onto the Brigitte this season. That's just how it works, right?
It's in the 3-3 meta.
You have to play the Brigitte, and it's sad for all these DPS mains, but whatever. You gotta do your job for your team. Now, this is a very aggressive composition because usually you only run the Mei and you run something else. So now the backline for the Spartans is very greedy. You have the Xenia, you have the Ana. There's not real much defense there, and there's no real tanks on this team to go for the counter dive. So Saints could just rush in.
Well, the whole point of that is that they can just stay at range, stay out of the range of the goats, and just split them off.
Oh, he's been baited. Absolutely.
They expected it. They called it beforehand. They had the read, and the Saints start to run.
Oh, huge
day! Oh, the Spartans just stopped the push dead in its tracks. Beautifully done, Ice Phoenix. What a hero.
That's incredible. They let the shield go down for just a mere second, and in comes the heavy ordnance coming from the back lines. It's the support of all people. However,
he knows what he's done.
However, Kotanks did go down in that fight. I believe there was one other casualty as well as, and the spawn difference is so long. Sure, Doomfist gets back a bit faster, but the Saints, they can make an aggression now.
They can stall it out with the main. They can just pop that wall up and make any aggression. Doesn't get baited out this time. No boosters, and that allows everyone to get back into the fight. Reinhardt, was going to get zoned off, but they dropped the wall. The mech is there instead. He's just going to get the right click. High charge from the Zarya as well. And straight into the backlines. Again, a lovely biotic grenade. The shield's going to fall. Kotanks and Barnyard both go down. But already, the Spartans, they have got the hold. Whether or not they're going to be able to hold it next time remains to be seen.
They'll have a Blizzard. They'll also have a Graviton. So this is a big win condition for them right now. They'll have that Grand Blizzard combo. Though. But yeah, Barnyard is making his way back into this fight. Leonia, wow, very high towards that Earthshot. It did get a great fire strike off there, but they make their way in. Saints once again.
Huge biotic grenade. There's the Graviton Surge, pulls everyone up close, but already both tanks going down, and now it's Ice Phoenix under the cosh. They just roll it on forwards. The Blizzard has no effect. Mr. Trix goes down, and the Saints claim the first.
And it's again McMagic Marv eating that Graviton. Oh, actually, no, don't forget. No, it went through. Despite that, Spartans, they invested so much there, but they weren't able to hold it. And I think that comes down to a really nice rotation from Chimpy all the way to the point. And Ice Phoenix has been a big thorn in their side, and he's like, right, it's time to take this thorn out.
Self-destruct sequence almost available, as is the rally. They have got that Transcendence as well. That's a pretty hefty
set of ults. This could be a big snowball.
The question is Ice Phoenix and Kotanks going to be able to deal with it? There's a Shatter in the mix as well.
Oh,
there's a Shield Bash, but Kotanks goes down early. The Shield Bash that needs to come through. Leonia needs to land a huge Shatter. They've already lost 2. There they go. He's going to send everyone down. The charge is going to get zoned away. Curio takes him out, and he's only going to trade it for 1. The Saints looking to snowball. The first tick is out blank, and they need to hold it.
Doomfist comes back down again, but immediately burnt away.
They're just going to send it back to spawn. There it is. An easy roll. The Saints are able to get the work done. Hanamura gone in the blink of an eye.
That was impressive, to say the least. They have this very aggressive composition coming out from the Spartans there, but they were so susceptible to a snowball come point B, because there is none of this like big supportive combos. They don't have a Transcendence because it's used first point, and they have Ana, who is primarily an offensive hero, and when it comes to getting snowballed, if she gets taken early like that by Nyx, then yeah, it's pretty much all over. You have nothing to stall out with. You saw the Meteor Strike come down. It was so telegraphed. Saints just knew exactly where it was coming from, and I think they are playing so well right now. We could see it go 2-1 now.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if they're able to hold on the second. Something as well, that first point really went down because of the kills that were able to get picked up onto Barnyard and Kotek.
Yeah, Chimpy.
Both Mei and Doomfist not being in the fight meant that this Goats comp could just roll straight to Ice Phoenix. Take out the Ana, take out the huge source of healing, and someone who is a linchpin really in that hold.
It's great to see. I think Saints have I think one thing I have noticed during a lot of these, they have a very good understanding of how their composition works and how the enemy team composition works. So they understand the win conditions, they know what they have to do to make sure this works, and that rotation from Chimpy, I still can't go over it. It was a very smart rotation, and I don't think Ice Phoenix was expecting it. You saw as he panicked, trying to get the sleep off, and it's just nowhere to be seen. Now Saints, they run something a little bit more traditional. They don't have the Mei, whereas the Spartans, they're going to have one to attack with instead.
Chimpy looking to get a little bit of early charge in, a little bit of early energy. Pajak on the Sombra, maybe looking to hack maybe Curio, maybe Gink as well, so they can't just speed on forwards. Instead, he's going to get the Mega. They're starting to just go for the fray, however. A lovely, huge biotic grenade again, taking Reinhardt down. The self-protected barrier going to keep Zarya nice and safe. Pajak has to translocate back, but Barnyard not so lucky.
See, the problem with playing Sombra on this map in particular is that you want to get through the choke, right? But there is so much flail. Yeah. There's a flail coming through, the Reinhardt swinging, there's AoE damage coming from Chimpy. So you are forced to go through the left side, from the right side. As you look from Nick's perspective, right? You're forced to go to the right side, but you have to use a translator to get through, which means you are completely defensive.
Who's on the point? Spartans, they've already got someone. The bubble, keeping the Brigitte nice and safe, but Nyx goes low. There's a huge biotic grenade. They have been so on point from Ice Phoenix. The nano boost is in. Kotex is over onto the Hanzo, but they trade it back 2 for 1. And again, biotics just flying left and right. How many does this guy have in his pocket? Self-destruct sequence, not going to find anything. Oh, the headshot not going to quite land, and Kotex is going to fall for it. But they managed to claim a tick.
I was speaking to actually head coach British Hurricane, Albion, right? And he pretty much says that point A is almost impossible to lose, right? Because there is so much opportunity for you to switch up the composition, make the changes, right? And here we see it. Now the Spartans, they have something a little bit different to move in with, and they have that EMP ready and waiting. Curion doesn't quite have the Transcendence yet.
Didn't find the Shatter, he's looking for it. And then the backlines though, there's a high energy Zarya. Easy cleanup, the Saints. They just stopped them yet again, dead at the gates. 2 minutes and 14 to come back into it.
You see Django, he's head bopping, right? He's having a good time. This is really, really good. 2 minutes remaining. That's half of the time bank removed already as they come into point B. If they take it here and now, because Saints, they still have things online. They will have this Earth Shatter. It's got to be big. Nyx will come through this shield bash. I am sure of it, but that is such an insane Hanzo shot.
Graviton can be launched freely. He doesn't even need to use the Dragon Strike, but the Transcendence is out nonetheless. In it comes. It will zone them away from the point, but Chimpy just turns his attention. He already has got a kill, though. 2 kills for Kotanks, and the charge is coming through for Barnyard as well on this Zarya, but they're countering it back and forth. Another huge biotic grenade coming out, and this is so crucial. Ice Phoenix getting it done, but the Saints still holding on. Django very, very low.
So
gonna be able to get it done. But
he's still alive!
Forwards, but Magimar back into
They're
the
gonna
fight.
retake this!
Oh, the Saints come back in, swinging, and they stop any capture progress coming through. The Saints, they are holding on, and they are doing it so, so well. A minute left, and another stall comes out.
Only 1 minute, like you say, John. This is getting down to dire straits. 1 tick on the boards. They only need 2 left from the Spartans. They will have an EMP coming in the next fight. They've got that extra sustain coming out from Ice Phoenix. They move to the Moira. They know they need to stay on this point for even longer now. But Saints, look, we've got the Graviton online as well as the self-destruct. That Giganti combo can come true.
They're going full on into it. Kotanks going to get grabbed up, and already 2 kills coming through. This should be a hard reset for the Spartans, but instead they invest the sound barrier. But they're getting pushed back to spawn nonetheless. Pajak has the EMP, and it's the last fight.
I would not be surprised if Django goes to Mega. No, he doesn't go for it. That would have been cheeky if he moved behind, but I think they have been caught out by it so many times. There will be a rally now. So many ultimates online for the Saints. I'd be very, very surprised if they lose this last fight.
They need to find both Reinhardt and Lucio with this EMP. He's managed to get into the back lines. Who's he going to be able to get? In come the Spartans. Curio zoned out, but the Shatter's there. And it's a triple kill! But Magic Marv stumps his seal onto Hanamura. The Saints have a huge start to the fight, and they're going to zone the Spartans away from the point. Pajak trying to stay up, but the contest is not there. The Saints go up. You were surprised about a 2-1. How about a 2-0?
This is incredible right now. The Spartans, they take 1. The Saints, they have 2 on the board already. But it's 1-2 on Hanamura. And I said it was almost impossible. And the Saints, they've achieved the almost impossible.
They managed to get it done. Look, a huge grab. Biotic Grenade's not going to help you there. Flame strike straight through. I think they overinvested the sound barrier in that second to last fight for the Spartans. They dropped the beat when 2 players had already gone down. They knew that they were going to get rolled. You're playing against 3-3. There's a Reinhardt who is just going to completely dismantle you.
It's tough. I think Mr. Trix has been making a few mistakes here and there. The boops haven't been as effective. But he's hanging in there. But I think we have to give it back to Ayak Gink. This guy is always in control of this matchup between him and the Sombra. He's always available to grab those sound barriers out as the EMP comes through. You saw him just dying in between the pillar. Like, to hit that EMP, you really would have to have those. Pajak would have to go all the way onto point, in which case he's already been revealed, and then hit it. In which case he might not hit the front line, which he didn't because he was overcompensating because he wanted to hit the front line and the back.
He was only going for Curio with that EMP, but they didn't have the read on the ult charge there. Curio didn't have the Transcendence. They needed to get the Lucio and the Earthshatter on that front line on the Reinhardt. They needed to dismantle that. Just didn't come through. I think the coordination was there, but by the time that they managed to find their foothold, it was just a little bit too late. Now, Spartans, they get the next map choice, and it looks like they're going to be going for Hollywood.
Hollywood here, unsurprising. I think Kotenks can really perform on the Doomfist come Hollywood. It's McMagic Marv though, dude. The guy pulls cards out of nowhere, and it's always an ace. It's always an ace in a hole for him because that free K on the self-destruct. Very disciplined with his self-destruct as well. And I only just noticed this recently as we watch on through, is that he's very, very cautious when he uses them. Only uses them when it's absolutely necessary. And there he knew that he had to make the big self-destruct. There was no shield there because Leonia was on the ground in that situation. It's incredible to see, and I think, at the end of the day, there is a lot of big individual talent on the Spartans, but Saints, they are so coordinated. It's very hard to deal with them.
They've played 3-3, and they can play it. What are you going to do against that?
Yeah, it's you almost have to play their own game. And I think Spartans, if they do want to go up against this 3-3, you almost have to change the way that Kotenks plays, because he's got to play more of this frontline Doomfist, make sure that he's displacing Django on this Reinhardt as much as possible, making it way easier for his tank line to move in and create space, take space. And at the moment, we're just not seeing any of that. And it almost frustrates me. I can imagine that it's frustrating the Spartans at the moment because they cannot find that answer. They cannot find this small crinkle in the armor to make their way in, but the spearhead, which is Kotenks, is starting to become blunt.
Yeah, it's been a little bit tempered.
Yeah.
Hasn't been as effective as it has been in previous weeks. They figured out how to deal with him. Chimpy on the McCree will be able to shut it down, or they could just run straight up goats and just put some bubbles on some people and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. The Discords have always been on point as well. Whenever he sailed in on the Doomfist, he's immediately got a little purple nuisance above his head.
Yep, every single time. It's like in Zelda, like where you
listen,
play.
you're dead, mate.
You're dead. Yeah. Hey, listen. Yeah, it's tough.
It's a lot of damage. It's coming your way.
And it's really tough. It's annoying, and it changes the playstyle of Kotenks at the end of the day, because he's got to play around it. Now, I'm kind of sad that we didn't see the Tourbillon. I have seen it in contenders many times. EU in particular are really trying to make it work, and it does if you put it into the backline and play around it. But we will be going over to standard 3-3 for both teams, and again, Ice Phoenix on this Ana. Sure, we've seen so many of these huge bite grenades, right? But at the end of the day, you just cannot out-heal the sheer damage that Curio puts in, and these Transcendences are even more effective.
Straight up to the point, the Spartans, they're not letting it slow down at all. The barriers are there, the charge is through, but the first pick goes over onto Mr. Tricks. Curio lays down the orbs yet again, and the Spartans, they're faltering once more.
They almost had to go for a stagger there because Django going down is really important for the Spartans themselves, because now they can take space with it, which is why you will see Ayak King just desperately skating back to pick Django up. They will hold in Cafe for the time being as you see them get onto the point. They know they have to give him space here. Ayak King already going low.
Really nice timing, however. They get the recontest before the first point. First blood yet to be drawn, but the Spartans have a little bit of pressure. They get the D-Mech, but Kotenks falls down with no shields. Oh, it's going to be the shield bash as well onto Django. So no shields on either team now. Zarya low onto the point. Who's going to be able to get a little bit more damage down? The Graviton almost build up for Chimpy, and he's able to get 1, 2, 3 kills. Starting to rack them up now. Sending them next to each other. Nyx gets the whip shot onto the mini Diva, and the Spartans will back yet again.
Can we just talk about how Django has been about like 10 HP about 7 times during his entire series? Remember when Hanamura is just stood in the corner like, someone please help me, like I need assistance.
Well, there we go, there's the rally coming out from Padshak. The Spartans move forward, but they're grabbed up, they're in the choke, Chimpy's in the back lines, and again the right clicks are there. Counter grab is through, however, the charge is on, and they go even on the trades. Saints though, they just have a little bit more foothold to start to move themselves forwards, and they're going to be able to dispatch with the push yet again. The Spartans left bare, only the nano boost and close to a sound barrier to go.
Caught out by the same wind conditions last time, Chimpy goes behind them and then unleashes the Graviton, and there's no way that Barnyard can react in that time to get a Diva Matrix off. It's almost impossible. Now Nyx is going to have this rally. Django also has the Earth Shatter, so there is a very big opportunity here for the Brigitte Bash combo.
Well, there's the Bash, there's the Graviton, there's the self-destruct sequence as well. But Magic Mart finds one, and the bubbles are out. They take it down onto Kotanks as well. Nano Boost is invested for the Spartans, but it's a lost fight now. They just have to try and pick up the pieces, see what they can get.
Like, this is the last map. Spartans have to do something now, because one more map here that they lose, and Saints, they will take this series. So the Spartans, you've got 1 minute 30 on the clock. Do not let it die here on point A.
They still have their defense to go, of course, but it's going to be a tall order if they aren't able to get it done. There's sound barrier invested, Leonia, not invested, sorry, is ready. Leonia relatively close to that Graviton, but Chimpy has his as well. Moving forwards very quickly. High charge Zarya's. Chimpy almost has it. It's all going to be on the Graviton to be eaten up. I think it's gone. They didn't manage to get it down. The charge is out onto Django. The Shatter's there, and the sound barrier. This is the opening that they were looking for. Both support ultimates invested for the Saints to try and piece together something. But the Graviton is there. The charge is out. Curio falls, and this is the opening. Spartans needed to try and get this first cap.
They do not dig the grave of point A just yet. They will make it through. There is some recontest going through. Mr. Trix goes down. Django back onto the point.
Not for too long, however. The swings are going to start to come through. High charge on the Zarya. Yet again, they're just staggering it out at this stage. The Spartans have got it, but with only 30 seconds left on the clock, this is a difficult time bank to contend with.
Yeah, you're going to get 2.5 minutes, so it'll be 3 minutes to take point B. Hollywood is a very, very long street space, so it's going to give a lot of opportunity for Saints to do something here. However, they did invest pretty much all of their ultimate bank here, and Padshak just unleashed the rally, so the entirety of Spartans will be coming into point B with such a huge amount of armor, which is going to affect the small arms fire of Aya Gink and McMagic Mark.
I have to give some props to Ice Phoenix, consistent on these Biotic grenades, able to hit so much through.
The aggression is
going to be able to do it.
Saints already.
Exactly. Shatter is available for Kotanks. They start to move on forwards. No ults for the Saints. They need to go for a dry push. Which is maybe why they're looking to move a little bit further forwards. But there's the shield bash. Kotanks can't be cancelled out now. There's the charge onto Django. Can't just turn around. Wow. The Shatter lays everybody bare. He's just going to 180, just spin around, swinging the hammer. Easy cleanup coming through. But in the meantime, Chimpy built up that ult. Has the Graviton. They're close to the Earth Shatter. They've got that pretty much everything at their disposal. The Spartans need to stagger those ults. Yeah, well, no, actually, they just invest the self-destruct and the Graviton, right? That's what they want to go for here. Potentially charge Django out of it. But Saints, however, they have kind of the same combination. They just do not have the self-destruct to end the fight yet. But there it is. He's going to come through, only one found, but Django going down as well means that they should just be able to move it straight on forwards. A really nice execution on second point here for Spartans as they come up against little to no resistance. Yeah, and a lot of discipline coming out from the Saints as well, as you got to love it, right? They hold on to all 6 ultimates as they come into point C. The problem here for them is that they really, really have to be careful how they invest these now. Chimpy going down as well gives Leonia a lot of charge on the Zarya. So they don't have too many ults, but they're coming up against here. What you really want to do, right, John, is you want to invest the sound barrier first, because it is a depleting shield, right, and it gives you time to rethink how you want to play this. Curio needs to drop the Transcendence second. We cannot see these overlapping ultimates we have seen before from the Saints, but already we see the rally. Which of these ultimates will be used first? It will be the Graviton. Invested, but there's the Shatter, try counter it out. 2 players sent down, and the right click is there. Biotic grenade and sound barrier both invested. No ults left for the Spartans as Rally is out, but the Shatter's there for Django. Sends everyone to the floor. The Nano Boost on the right out, trying to keep him alive. The self-destruct's layered on top for McMagic Marv, and they send them back. 2 minutes left, and the Spartans are once more on the back foot. It's not great though. 5 ulties invested for one fight, right? One restart.
stabilize. It's not bad come point C when you have 1 minute 50 on the clock. Saints did find their way up towards a few other ultimates, but Leonia once again coming towards 84% on that Graviton.
So Django very close to another Earth Shatter. Spartans have the self-destruct. Looking to go it in. There's the charge coming through. Gotank's able to take it down. The Transcender's not able to save his life. The main tank starts to move forward. No shield. Self-destruct. Are they going to find it? Oh, the Graviton Surge eats them up, but it's the damage that isn't coming through just yet. Chimpy goes down. Gotank's charging into the backline. The Contest is still out. They need to just deal with whoever's being pesky on the payload. There it goes. Curio is going to fall down. Django is close to that Earth Shatter now.
So is Chimpy. So Kotanks really has to make a huge Earth Shatter here before Django can lay his own down. The thing that worries me is Padshak just hasn't shown himself to be this amazing Brigitte, where Nyx, this is his bread and butter.
Shatter needs to be invested. Both teams have it up and available. Who's going to get baited in? Oh, the shield bash is there. One sent to the ground. It's only Magic Marv. And the D-Mech comes through from Barnyard as well. Huge barriers coming out, but the D-Mech is on both sides. Takes charge into the wall. Barnyard taken down as well. And the Spartans are pinned into the sidelines. Going to be zoned away from that payload. It's under contestation, but it's not going to last for too long. A beautiful wipe coming out, and the Spartans only have 35 seconds.
35 seconds, like you say, and only the rally and the Graviton to do it. Saints pretty much have nothing on the board other than this sound barrier that will be coming through. He has to find it quickly because the sound barrier will end it all if the Graviton makes its way through.
Looking for the grab, the projected barrier, they're trying to bait it out.
Again,
It's going to go on the backline. They're all grouped up. It's time now. Spartans need to step forwards. They are out. The Transcendence is completely useless here. Everybody's already gone down. Huge pickups coming through. The Spartans, they have that Earth Shatter as well. Anyone moving forward to try and contest is just going to be sent back. 1 second. Overtime is going to tick away, but the pressure is forwards. Oh, tries to predict the blink, but it's not there. The contest is coming back. The Saints are there. Earth Shatter invested. Nyx gets the first kill. There's self-destruct sequence. Not going to find anything. They trade it back. Nyx is going to be going down as well. Trading 1 for 1. The Saints are back out of spawn as they're going to be able to get it done, but the sound barrier's there. They move it into the back. High charge on Leonia. Almost up to another Graviton. Trying to pick out Curio as well, and the kills start to go red. The Spartans pick up their feet in overtime. They see it all the way.
That could have gone really badly. The Saints, they brought some out the hat, but wasn't quite enough. Wasn't that white bunny that they needed to win with, after all. The Magic Marv, he's done really, really good so far. Spartans, however, they do make it through to point C, sorry. This is one intense match.
Absolutely. The thing is, though, the Saints have the opportunity to guarantee themselves at least a draw in this map.
Yep.
Well, it won't be a draw. We do have a tiebreaker situation, but if they finish with more than 1 minute in the time bank, they only have to re-attack onto point A and get that first tick.
I think so far, if we're taking Hanamura as anything to look at, that choke is not a choking point for Saints at all. They make it their way through very, very consistently. Nyx is hovering the Widowmaker for the time being. I don't think that he will hold on to it. It's something that's a potential, but I believe he will go back over to the Brigitte. Spartans, however, they're running still that bread and butter free composition. Ice Phoenix back onto the Ana, and this is something that has bit them before, right? It's this Ana. If the Saints, if McMagic Marv can eat that Bite Grenade and potentially Sleep Dart, as well as a lot of what Ice Phoenix brings to the table gets negated, gets mitigated, and the Spartans have a much tougher time holding down Cafe.
The wild card I'm looking at here is Nyx on the Widowmaker. Needs to land those headshots. If he can get those pickoffs early onto Mr. Tricks, onto Ice Phoenix, that is going to be so huge for his team.
Absolutely, John. I completely agree.
Except he's not playing Widowmaker.
Back onto the Brigitte, of course. And they will make their way in, and undoubtedly you will see Ice Phoenix holding down in Cafe. It'd be the smart place to play here. He doesn't want to be on the ground. He is.
Maybe it is smart. Maybe he knows a little bit better. But immediately into the fray. Kotanks goes pretty low, but charges in nonetheless. Taken down by Curio. The damage is already being laid down as well. Nyx goes a little bit forward. The Flame Strike is out. Saints already in the advantage. Trying to get that Biotic Grenade down, but Django's just wreaking havoc with the hammer. Saints already starting to make their claim to this first point, and it's going very well so far.
Django once again on 10 HP. I was actually talking to the guy earlier, John, and he said that, yeah, my job is just to get hit and bashed around. I was like, yeah, I agree with that. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the main team club.
Ooh, Chimpy farming so much ult charge.
Yeah, the guy is incredible. Like, he's made he's made the move from main tank to DPS to this off tank where he's playing on Zarya. I think he's made a lot of changes within his career, and now he is really coming into the light now.
Graviton Surge is available. They have got the Transcendence as well to try and counteract any aggression. Straight on in, Shield Bash onto the Reinhardt, Earth Shatter layered on top. That should be it. There's the quad kill coming in from Magic Marv. Yet again, just sending it in over the top. However, that was a lot of ults from the Saints.
It was a lot of ults. They will hold on to basically every single supportive ultimate here, which will provide them enough time to make their way through. But the Spartans, all 6 ultimates coming online right now, John, so there will be a recontest. So potentially this is just a bit of a dry push. Chimpy, very high charge here, so he can potentially force out some ultimates.
Riley's forward, self-destruct available. Kotex has the shatter. Django needs to block this one up. It is going to be going through, but they aren't going to find too much pressure. Django is going very low. The charge into the back line, so the sound barrier to see the Spartans a little bit safer. There's the self-destruct over the top. Graviton layered into it as well. Triple kill. Barnyard comes up big, showing Magic Marv just what he can do as well.
Absolutely, but like I said though, Saints wanted to go for an eco push there. They used Transcendence, they used Rally, but let's look at what Spartans had to invest. They had to invest the Earth Shadow early on, the self-destruct, the nano boost. Everything went. They threw everything in the kitchen sink at them there and still only achieved a restabilization on point B. Now Kotex has to make a huge Earth Shatter here if we want to see something that we saw on Dorado, which is where they cycled this Graviton, cycled this Earth Shatter.
Not only that, but they have to get out a Gink. If he shatters on nothing, it's going to be disastrous. There's both shatters invested. Not too many people hitting the deck, and this first blood going over to Nyx in the fight. Padshak removed from it. And it's going to be the rally forward. Saints just moving it in. And there's nothing really to stop them at this stage. Already a lot of the tank line just falling down, and they're sent back yet again.
I feel so sorry for Kotex because he's really suffering from a bad case of Discord orbitis. He should be sent to a hospital, get someone checked out, because Curio, he is laying down the pain.
The purple light sending him back to spawn time and time again.
Oh my god!
Huge from the Saints! They can just start to move on forwards. This should be another Earth Shatter for Django available as well. What a flank from Chimpy! Kotex though, he's got a double. This is going to get shut down, and where did that come from?
Chimpy is such an insane player. I am so happy with him today. He has really shown up. The projected barriers have been massive as well, as you saw in that very last fight. That actually, Django didn't go down to the floor because of a projected barrier in the way that completely stopped that Earth Shatter from going through. Chimpy has been more than just a Graviton user.
4.5 minutes though, the Saints have the opportunity. Shield bashed out! Django has no Earth Shatter now, and they can start to move it on forwards. A nice advantage. There's the Graviton, there's the self-destruct, but they've yet to find the kills. Transcendence being layered down on top as well. Nothing really found with all of these ultimates being invested. Kotex finds one with the Earth Shatter, and there's just really no one finding the openings here. The charge is out and actually missed the tricks. First to fall, they trade it back. Both Lucio's going down. Chippy has the Graviton. Kotex going to be under the cosh. That biotic credit not going to be able to heal them up, but Barnyard's doing the work. Gets the D-Meg, gets the Ryan, gets Chimpy down. And there's going to be the Spartans starting to get a little bit of respite.
Well, they have pushed so far, and only 3 minutes 40 remaining, John. There's a lot of time here to make something work. Spartans, however, they're going to have a lot of things online right now. Saints, if they can have another push like they had on point B, remove a lot of these ultis from the board, in which case they had all the supportive ultim available. That's exactly what they've got going now. Spartans could have another bad fight.
Shatter available for Kotex, gets shield bash, but he still has it. Shatter laid down, invested, sent 2 to the floor, but they really can't move forwards here. Graviton Surge invested as well. There they go. The Saints all grouped up, but no one's there to try and make it work. The nano boost onto the Reinhardt, and the Transcendence to cancel it out. Nyx going down first, removes that Magneto pressure, and the Spartans have their chance. Shatter is in, and the Saints are going to go down. The Spartans get the charges. Double kill for Kotex.
There has been several times here where Kotex has unleashed an Earth Shatter during a fight and found another one midway through. It's such a massive threat that Django has to deal with in the fact that, oh, I blocked the first one, but I've got to be waiting and ready for the second. It's not something you should be thinking about, especially when it comes to ultis. That is not a cooldown ability.
2.5 minutes now. The Saints having their time back whittled down almost by half. At this stage, they're going to go for another fight, shield bash again, but it's not really going to find too much. Self-destruct into the back line, it's going to be blocked up as well, but the rest of the team are there. They move it on forward. Sound barrier onto a 2-player loss already. Curio has a bit of damage, but he's not going to be able to survive too much longer. That sound barrier wearing down, and with the D-Mech, Leonia can start to just roll it on forwards. Easy Graviton Surge built up. They can send them back yet again. 2 minutes now.
I really do think here the Saints, they have tried very, very difficultly now to go for this desperate push onto point C. I think they know they want it. You can tell that they want it, but all they're doing so far is just feeding ultimate charge over to the Spartans. Saints, they come back into this one. This time they have a little bit more opportunity. One thing to note though, Curio, Transcendence's last fight, another one already on the board.
Really accurate with those orbs, getting a lot of damage done for sure. But in comes the Graviton Surge. There's going to be for the Saints, but Spartans still have theirs. Transcendence is out, and they still haven't invested it. There's 2 kills going their way, but in comes the Graviton to try and counter it down. No Transcendence to stop the damage coming through, but they're just keeping their team alive. The charge from Gotenks, the Nano Boost layer down on top, but the Shatter's down. He's going to send 2 out, but the trades are going relatively even. The Saints up to a minute and 20. They won't be able to move it forwards with the self-destruct. Ayagin going down, and the Saints have to remount.
There is now only 1 minute remaining from that 4-minute original time bank. It's tough for them right now.
This
and
guarantees
it's
the spot for the second
an
attempt.
awful stagger there for them, which will make the next push not happen until 40 seconds or plus. Right, they're going to come into this one with the rally. They drop it now. Sound barrier also available. But once again, Spartans, they seem to always have this Earth Shatter and Graviton combo available to them, John. This is it right now.
Beautiful cycle work coming out. Katank shield bash yet again. There's the Biotic Grenade layer down on top. Shatter down, and the Saints are completely taken out of the fight. Sound barrier to try and get some a little bit of a foothold into the fight, but it is just too little too late. Already the DMAC coming through. The Graviton from the sideline. Transcendence is there. Curio, an absolute machine. And they might just be able to turn it around just that little bit with Leonia going low, but he's able to step back behind the cover and remount. 18 seconds now. There's the sound barrier coming in for the spot. Graviton Surge available for Jimpy, finds 1. It's onto the Brigitte. Padshak gets sucked in as well. Shatters down, but Django finds 2. The flame strike is huge. 6 seconds left. The Saints need to find everything, and Django's doing the work. They move it on forwards. Overtime is going to tick away, but the Spartans have to throw everything they have.
I don't think there's opportunity for a recontest here. They are jumping out. There will be 3 players on the point. Nice projector barrier. Mr. Tricks going very low. Out comes the self-destruct. No kills found as of yet.
Oh, 2 players go down. Another one as well. Discord Orb on to the Wrecking Ball. Protects back into the fray as well, but they are just falling like flies at this stage. Overtime is already ticked away. The Spartans have done the work they need to get that second attempt, and the Saints send it home.
Now, if there's anything to go by on point A, we saw Spartans being held for such a long time, right? And the Saints, they pushed through in a blink of an eye, like you said earlier. So there is massive potential right now for these teams. Spartans, they have to change something. They have to change something if they want to make their way through Hollywood quickly. If they cannot, then it will be all over.
It's down to the wire. It's going to be tricky, to say the least. A minute on the clock. Pretty much going to be pushing majority of the time in that overtime situation.
Yep.
Really, really difficult to contend with. Just on a mentality front. These teams, both, they've been slugging it out for so long in the Overwatch Arena Clash, and to come to the finals,
it's all down to this now.
On your home turf, be up to the wire like this. It must be so nerve-wracking for the Spartans, but they've shown that they can hold it together when it counts.
Under pressure as well. Like, it could have all ended there. But the Spartans, they bring it back. Now we come over to Hollywood first. Once again, flashbacks, right? Got to see if they can hold on to this one for a little bit longer. But Curio, he is really he is the glue that's holding this team together. The Transcendences are always there, always available to his team to keep them alive. It's very, very impressive to see, and I think every single player on the Saints has had a moment of greatness today. I think Spartans, they need to bring it up. I think a lot of them are very, very good. A massive fire strike from Django. 37%, that means he hit 5 players on the enemy team because it is 7% per charge.
They're going straight on him, not taking any breaks. The Saints started moving on forwards, and the first kill goes over onto Kotenks. He's very low, however, and so he is traded back. Chimpy trying to get the right clicks in, but there's the Biotic Grenade as well to keep them nice and healthy. Leonia gets another kill. The Spartans starting to turn the tides, but there's still a high charge Zarya to contend with. But Magic Mouth zoning away the back line, and the Spartans have to fall back just a little bit, regroup, and of course the spawn advantages with them. The T-Mech is out, the rally is there, they can start to move it on forward. 18 seconds are starting to come out, and the contest is going to be mounted. The Spartans have control of the point for now, but for how long?
There has to be a big Earth Shatter here as they make the recontest. 59% on Chimpy. Leonia has made a big deficit here. He's going to try and drop it down. He does. They all go down.
4-4. There's the barrier to keep Patchak alive, and Curio gets the double. Able to pop the Transcendence as well. And Chimpy's there. Only half the point capped. Overtime starting to tick away. The Spartans still have it. The Shatter of their own is out, but Kotex only finds one. Getting zoned away.
This is
they
incredible.
still have the Kotest. The Kotest?
The
There we go.
Kotest.
He's going to come on through. But it's just going to be
is.
shut down. Chimpy, Curio doing so much work for their team. Only 53.4% to cap, and the Saints have a minute to do so.
What a play from Kuro at the end there. I said he is the glue, but I take it back, John. This guy is a weapon. The man is the spearhead. He is showing us how it's done, how Yamana plays Zenyatta right. He doesn't hold the team together, he holds the team up.
They need to channel Thermopylae right now, the Spartans, if ever there was a time.
To hold the line.
Hold the line. This is where we hold them. This is where we take the Saints down. Give them what they've been getting. Just as good. They do have the chance to win it. Of course, they do have that 53.4%, which means that we will see a definite victory at this stage.
Could go 2-2, could go 3-1. Just don't know yet. There's been so many variables during these games, John. Just not sure
2 fights.
How it's going to go down. Yeah, 2 fights. That's all it will be. Potentially even 1 if they really extend this out, go full GOAT style on us. I really do think this comes down to Spartans. I think it comes down to how Katanks plays, how Ice Phoenix plays. I think playing on the ground there just gave so much of an opening for the Saints beforehand.
If you're playing up on the cafe, you can just throw those Biotic grenades and be so safe from this Ghost composition.
If you're a Spartans fan, you're feeling pretty worried right now.
Absolutely.
If you're a Saints one, this could all end right now.
1 minute is all that stands between the Saints and potential victory here at the Overwatch Arena Clash Finals. It's do or die time. Spartans. They need to get it done. They need to hold the line. The Saints bearing down now. They're straight onto the point. They're allowed to move on forwards. Kotek's already super high charge. Nick's dispatched very early on. A nice start to the fight. And actually, there's the Zarya starting to try and move forward
so
as well.
low.
They've taken the defense as
now
well.
we can just go back.
Kotek's has fallen down, and with the sport advantage, they might be able to do it. But if they stagger too much, they're going to allow Kotek's to get back into the fight. 27 seconds.
The Magic Marv was the person to go down there, right? Because he's got the boosters. They can get back to the point even quicker. 21 seconds. This is the last fight now, Gian. There's not much on the board. Kotex is coming up towards that Earth Shatter. 30% behind is Django.
He's into the fight
Has
now.
it available.
Has the shatter.
Oh, he blocks
into
it.
the back. The block comes through, so he didn't find too much value.
He's so
very,
low.
very low.
He's so
Gonna
low.
get taken down. Aya King with the boot.
Another
the
Transcendence.
Saints are going to start to move it forward. The Transcendence there to keep them nice and healthy, but the heal block comes through, and they're starting to roll it back. Ice Phoenix comes up huge. Graviton from Leonia as well. Self-destruct sequence into the backlines on the staircase. Nyx falls down, but it's traded. They take down Barnyard on the Mini Diva. Chimpy's still into the fight.
Oh,
the Magic
we
Marv
can come back
coming
right
up
now.
big, trading the self-destructs, but the pressure, it's so lackluster
We're
at this
coming towards
stage.
another
They need
Graviton.
to keep contesting. They need to keep it moving forwards.
it
Barnyard
is.
over onto the wrecking ball. There's the Graviton. The Saints
massive.
start to
It's
move forward.
massive.
Chimpy, it's huge. Double kill coming out. The Saints, they have nothing
They're
left
body
to
blocking
do
it.
but hold.
You're not getting
There's
through
the
today.
cap. No one's moving through. The Saints take it home.
The
in
line
the home ground
is
of the
broken.
Spartans.
The line is broken, John. And the Saints, they will take this one.
It goes the way of the Saints. Beautiful performance coming out. The Spartans, they fall at the last.
It's everywhere.
It's absolutely everywhere. Such an intense final fight. Beautiful coming back in there. The Saints, what a performance they were able to put on. Curio consistently having those transcendences. The right clicks, the discords, left and right. Look at that. It's a little bit of smiles. They're happy with themselves. They've had a good time. And don't forget, they do walk away with £100 worth of game credit, as well as £50 of those peripherals. But the men of the hour here, it's the Saints. Magic Marv, front and center.
What a stance. What a
Look at
stance
that is powerful.
That's a power stance right there.
Powerful. Look at that.
It's unfortunate for these lads in Stratford. They really, really made a good show today. I didn't see it coming. The Saints, they sweep it underneath them.
Yeah.
Such incredible plays throughout. I really do think it comes down to Curio, though. Those transcendences are just so awesome during that entire game.
His positioning is really good, really strong. And it's just so impactful when he's able to get it done and they weren't able to stop it out. But that's enough of me. I need to give my voice a rest. That's enough of us shouting. We're going to throw it back over to our host, L. I don't know what you're going to do with that, but it can't be as exciting as what we just saw.
Well, I mean, another incredible final today has just been absolutely action-packed. I don't think we could ask for a better end to a year of Arena Clash. It has been unbelievable. Now, I am just so excited to be here today. But of course, don't forget, we've also got more matches coming up tomorrow when we're going to be having Tekken, and this is going to be a big one because it's going to be a rematch of the Bradford Rams, who took on our obviously incredible London team. The Lionhearts have just been taking down everybody non-stop, and I think this one is going to be just a rematch of that 5-hour game that is going to be very, very exciting, because this time around the Rams have been playing like they've got something to prove. So don't go anywhere. We want you back tomorrow. We need you to come back, join in, and finish off this season of Arena Clash. But now I'm going to invite some of the players from the two teams that we just watched, the Saints and the Spartans, in to have a chat with us, because, as I said, an incredible game, and I want to talk to them about it. Hello. How are you feeling?
Amazing. I don't know how to. I know it's like really cliche, like when we say amazing, but honestly, yeah, it's incredible to win finally. Yeah, it's brilliant.
I mean, and we were really excited to see you here, because I think it's fair to say at the beginning of the season we weren't necessarily expecting to see you guys in the final, and then suddenly out of nowhere, in playoffs, you suddenly blew us all away. So what changed for you guys?
We scrimmed a lot, we practiced a lot, and I don't know. We always felt like we could do it. So for us to be underdogs was like. It was cool to come in and just win. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And so did it add pressure to today, knowing that you were coming in against a team that were probably, the favourites today?
Well, they beat us before, right? So to come in and, we came in and we thought it would go either way, but we came in confident though. We thought we'd do it, and we did in the end.
Well, I mean, safe to say you did indeed do it. All right, I'm going to keep you here. I'm just going to jump over. Hello. Now, I'm so sorry to have you here in this position. Yeah, I mean, but what I am going to say is, for a debut season, this has been pretty phenomenal. How did you guys come in just so strong in your very first season of play?
So, sorry, my voice is a bit funked. So.
Yeah, I imagine it's a little...
I was the one doing the yelling, so... So, basically, I brought some friends over from other teams that I had before. So, Barnyard, Kotanks, Tricks, we've all played in a team before, but playing with Padshak, Jake, and Harry, we've never played before, so it's quite an experience playing with him again, well, for the first time. So it was quite weird seeing different strengths and weaknesses from other people. So it's quite hard to get used to playing with new players on our team, especially how they play different play styles and such. Really wanted to scrim more, but never had time. So everyone's schedule's so booked constantly. So, yeah.
So what do you think you're going to change for next season? Because I assume we're going to see you all come back. I mean, you were so good. I can't bear the thought of you not being back next season.
Yeah, most of us will be back next season. We'll probably be practicing a lot more this time. So you better watch out.
And finally, I'll just ask, how have you enjoyed the season? How has it been overall? Because as I said, you guys have been phenomenal competitors.
So the season, it's been so much fun. Everyone on our team had so much fun. Like, we're actually really proud that Cardiff has actually gotten like so much better. Like, it was actually really close, and it was actually really fun to play against them. Like, we could hear them screaming on the other side too. So like, we got hyped as well. So it's like, it's not that we lost. It's just like we played the best we could at that time. We didn't beat them. That's fine. They were better. It's fine.
Well, you came pretty close, and as I said, you have been absolutely fantastic this season. So congratulations on making it to the final, and good luck next season.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, let's go ahead, I think, and get the rest of your team in. Come on, guys, come on in. I'm going to ask you to step out. I'm so sorry. I feel terrible. All right, come on in. Well, I'm going to reach behind you I'm going to pull up what you've all been waiting for, and I'm going to hand over the trophy to our Overwatch champions, the Saints. Well, this was our first official Overwatch Arena Clash this season. It was in partnership with Overwatch, and these guys have triumphed. You've had an incredible season. They came out of nowhere late game and just blew us all away, and they came in today as the underdogs. And I think it's safe to say they are not leaving as the underdogs. We are all going to have our eye on you next season. But that is just about it from us today. I don't know if you've quite made it through. I think I'm going to collapse the second this broadcast is over. But as I said earlier on, we have got an incredibly exciting match tomorrow. So we are going to be having our Tekken 7 final, and it is a rematch of the 5-hour final from last season between the London Lionhearts and the Bradford Rams. Of course, London Lionhearts are the reigning champions, but the Bradford Rams have been playing like they have got something to prove. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe to us on Twitch, to follow us on Twitter at Belong Arenas, because we'll send you out notifications when we go live. But for now, I'm going to leave you with a big round of applause for our fantastic Overwatch champions, the Saints.